Okay, we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube as well for the first time. We are live on Facebook. Very well. And hello everyone. My name is Siddharth, and thank you for joining our live streams. This is the first time we are going live concurrently on Facebook and YouTube for the all-important match for Brazil versus Argentina. We hope we hope you all guys enjoyed. Indranatha, over to you. Dada, audio. Indranatha, you are muted.
Yes, sorry. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Sid. So as you know, we are doing a preview of the match between Copa America champion Argentina and Brazil. So this is, Argentina will play Brazil in Brazilian home soil after the Copa America final, which obviously Argentina won. So before we start the preview, we have, with me, Sid, Supam, Shukriyo, and Alekhya. So we'll probably do a quick roundup, and I'll reach out to all of you for probably a 1-minute summary of how you felt the team played against the Venezuela game, because that's the first time the team came back together after the Copa America final. So before we get to the Brazil game, just your thoughts on the Venezuela game. So I'll start with Sid.
Thank you, Dada. Brief summary. Of course, the 3 points what we got was most important, like the players and Scaloni said. So no complaints over there. Still a few complaints in regards with the lineup. Now that we have won the trophy, we are playing qualifiers. I expected to see someone else other than Patsela, but still he started Patsela. Thing is, my issue with Patsela is I can't judge him. Nor do I see his club games, nor do I concentrate on him when he's playing with Argentina. So I can't quantify him, but most importantly, we got the 3 points, so no complaints.
Supam, your thoughts?
Thank you, Indranatha. So I would like to double the point what Sid mentioned. So first things is 3 points in the bag. That's a relief, and unlike the last World Cup qualifier, I think we are in a very good shape after 7 rounds of matches. But yeah, from the team formation point of view, I think few of the players, as they're coming back from holidays, looked a little rusty, including Leo. And that will definitely, as we go on, as we start practicing more and get into more qualifiers, I think that will be not be shown. And obviously, people are mentally relaxed after the Copa win, and that's really great. But one thing that I noticed was, like, in the Korea goals, like the second half goals, both for Handle Korea as well as Walking Korea, there was good link up plays. There was good 1-2s that being played between Messi, Lautaro, Walking Korea. So that was nice to see. From the defensive point of view, I think Romero is still recovering from his injury. And as rightly mentioned by Sid, I think it's time that we should try out a few other people in the defensive areas from a team formation point of view. And also, I would like to see Bundea tried out to see that how he's coming out and try to get to see what he brings in new to the play. As a whole, very much satisfied from the Venezuela game, and we are 21, as mentioned by Supriyo just a minute before the start of this call. We are 21 matches unbeaten. I would like to keep that juggernaut flowing with Brazil again, defeating them on their side. And that is my thought.
Yeah. Supriyo, your thought on the Venezuela game?
Yeah, just like Siddharth and Supam said, it's the final thing is we won 3 points. We drew last 2 matches. Now we have 3 points at the back. We started a bit slow. It is inevitable that players were a bit rusty. They were coming after a long time in the national team. But as the game progressed on, especially in the second half, the team gelled very well. They made some very crucial passes, 1-2 passes. They were much more better on free-flowing football and good subs by Scaloni in terms of Angel Correa and Joaquin Correa. Both got their goals. So overall, a very compact performance. Of course, the Leo Messi tackle was very horrible, and one player got sent off, and he was slightly injured. He was playing with a bleeding knee or something. So, thank God the extent of injury is not so bad, and he will be able to play. God knows how does he train or what does he eat. He survives these tackles almost regularly and gets up. He got up on his feet within 3 minutes. So yes, overall compact good performance. 3 points in the back. The last penalty, which I thought was a very soft penalty, that should not have been a penalty, but still okay. Not a problem. We won by 2 goals margin. So that's my thought about the Venezuela game.
Alexio. Yes, sir.
I think, I won't repeat the common points, but the big relief for me was not the 3 points, but the fact that Messi will still play. Like that injury was horrible. Like I was scared that he will be out for 4 or 5 months, if not more, post that. So that was, I think, the biggest relief and takeout for me from the match. And I think the other big takeaway for me was we scored 3 goals without Messi scoring or even giving an assist. So I think that was huge for me. In fact, in the finals also he didn't give an assist. So or obviously didn't score. So I think two such successive matches that has happened. So that gives me a lot of confidence. The other thing I think, versus the trend that we saw in Copa during those 7 matches, that when we scored first, which we again did here, we sort of sat back, which I didn't see here. So which was, I think, a very good fact that I observed, and genuinely excited about the two Koreas as attacking options. If you remember post Copa, when we were having this last chat, we were discussing that who is that guy in the World Cup finals in Qatar who can score those 5-6 goals, and then we couldn't look beyond Lautaro. Maybe these two, fingers crossed, are giving us hopes. So yeah, I will talk about it at length. And honestly, to Supam's point, I'm not worried whether we win in couple of hours time or whatever. 21 match, I'm very happy. Nobody cares to win a qualitative qualification group. We'll be happy even if we come out with a draw. But yeah, losing to them will be bad. So don't want to lose. Yeah, I don't see us losing. We'll talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. My, I think, 2 cents will be, yeah, Messi's injuries was scary. And, the uh, continuing with the tradition, the pitch was fairly bad. So there was people are falling. So initial phase of the game, people are adjusting to the pitch. But I think that's scare, injury scare, that was a huge relief. And the other one, as you said, scoring 3 goals without Messi contributing that much. And, with Lautaro and Joaquin, Korea will play in the same club now in Inter, and they already started showing some combination in their first game that I saw. So that's a good sign. And I think, I know, defense, Romero wasn't available. I think Scaloni has more trust for Pazzella, and I think he did a decent job that day. But what was very exciting is the kind of substitution, more attacking options. So there was one point when we had 5 upfront players playing. So Scaloni took off the defensive midfielder Guido and got in Dybala. So that was kind of funny, but it was exciting to see. So yeah, so leaving that excitement behind us, and I think Vigovan has just joined. So going to the Brazil game, I think the rhythm that the team got from the Venezuela game, and given that everybody is available, Cuti Romero and Paredes were suspended, so they are back in the game, and I'm hoping that probably both of them will start in the game. I think only on the wing backs there we could see some changes, but otherwise the starting 11 is kind of sorted. Uh, Anything that I would say the fullbacks. So Sid, what is your ideal fullback combination, especially to play against Brazil? Because that's a area where Scaloni is not stable. He keeps changing. Sid, you're muted.
Yeah, coming to our fullbacks, I think the way Scaloni has been giving the message to the fans that it could be either of one, like whether it's Montiel or Molina, Tagliafico or Acuna. Like rightly, as you said, he himself has not been able to convince with either of the pairing. But given that we are playing Brazil and in our last outing, please correct me if I'm wrong. It was Acuna who played on the left back. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like that to continue, given that it is we are still fairly fresh in that memory, and given and he has although Tagliafico has that tendency to go overlap. Uh, the last stages of Copa, how should I put it? I kind of my trust in him certainly started to go down, which was really unfortunate. So I would like to go with Acuna, and my heart says on the right back we are going to stick with Molina unless he has an injury. He is not mature, of course, but given the day, he can do the job, just like the Copa America final. So yeah, I'll go with Acuna and Molina.
So I'll just come to midfield and go to Supam here. And I think midfield, we probably will see Paredes back instead of Guido, and probably Lo Celso, and obviously Rodrigo de Paul, who is kind of the dawn of the team, will play. But I guess, we won't see 90 minutes of at least Lo Celso, but we'll see. So any other midfield formation that you would like to see as a fan, or Supam, your thoughts?
Yes, rightly said, everyone. We all expect Paredes to come back, so that is one thing. But uh, I don't think Scaloni will work for a double pivot sitting behind that kind of a formation. That won't be there. So if Paredes is back, I won't expect Gudo to play with Paredes. But yeah, from my point of view, to be like in the final of the Copa America, where Montiel was there instead of Molina, if I'm not wrong, yeah, or running in the overlap. So he did a very good job to support. So from my point of view, if we instead of playing last match, Scaloni started a 4-4-2. So instead of a 4-4-2, if we like, for example, try to put in the midfield by playing a five people in the midfield, by putting someone as an attacking midfielder, which will help out, and both Di Maria and Messi playing on the wings. So Messi was used as a striker in last match, and if we can use even Bundia also over here to see sometimes like how he is doing or connecting, playing him as an attacking midfield if required, then I think that is one formation if it is suiting. But I don't want to do too much of changes in the formation. But if from a midfield point of view, if you can put in one more player in the midfield and then have a link up play with the slow striker that we have, that would work around. Like that would try to show that how much difference we can, like what are the different combinations which we can try out to see, even like fitting Dybala in the team along with Messi, which is a very difficult task. I understand, but yeah, that is one thought that I think that can be tried out, considering that if we have overlapping fullbacks who can go up and
Yeah.
down.
Great. Yeah, coming to Supriyo. So what we saw the other day, and I think we'll see Lautaro Martinez starting as our typical number 9, and Messi plays different roles in different games. And in the last game, we saw all our striking options in the pitch at some point in time. Uh, but we played Brazil in the Copa America final, and we're playing them again. But obviously, two very different games. That's a final for a side which hasn't won any senior team trophy since '93, and today is just another qualifying game where the kind of team or the overall squad Argentina has been developing, and the form, they will definitely kind of qualify without any stress. So, just between the two games, how do you see Argentina's gameplay being different from Copa America as the context, and what are you going to see in the next in the 2 hours or so?
Yeah, it's a good point to mention that in the Copa America final and the the match that there will be some differences, because in Copa America final we were playing a man behind the ball because we were defending well. We were holding on to one goal lead and we were trying to counter attack. Now I think Argentina has does not have that burden now. Now we can actually try to go and play an attacking football against Brazil, especially with this Brazil which is kind of depleted in their squad. So I think our attacks, our team should play a bit more attacking football now that we don't need to win. It's not a must-win game for a championship for a championship. So yes, Lautaro, as you said, should be our go to guy. But I will be very excited to see Dybala today having more minutes on the pitch than what he got last time. And I think Dybala, players like Dybala and Kundia should slowly start to come in and face these challenging oppositions in this stage of the qualifying campaign to get set in the team and also to gel with the other teammates. So I'll like to see a bit more attacking Argentina, no more playing man behind the ball and then going for counter attack, going toe to toe against Brazil in the same manner as they are playing attacking football. So yeah, a bit more attacking football and inclusion of the likes of Dybala and Quintin.
Great points. Alekio, you being a kind of a marketing guy, doing a lot of social media, digital marketing, and what we have seen, post Copa America win, and then Brazil uh, Brazil's have fans and team have recently started seeing the importance of Olympics because they have also started winning recently. But what we've seen between the players, there are a lot of uh, I think teasing in social media that you're seeing, posting photographs and everything. So, and from Argentine side, I think Rodrigo De Paul takes kind of a lead in that, and he's actually taking the lead in the ground also. So, how do you see that kind of coming up? Not just in the ground, how that's going to get it reflected. Given that
Yeah,
Brazil
yeah,
may not have the whole squad, but we want to focus on Argentina. And how do you see
correct.
that kind of coming up?
No, I think the leader of that off the pitch activity is Emi. I mean, there is
I
no,
mean,
he's the leader of the banter pack. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
remember how, I think you're right, at Tokyo, after Argentina lost, we lost to Egypt, right? Or I mean, we drew with Egypt or someone and then we went out, right?
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. And Richarlison, they were there, getting ready for practice, and he took the selfie with the other folks with Argentina sort of coming out, and he posted it,
yeah,
and Amy immediately replied with his pose
right,
after the finals where he lost. So
yeah,
Amy will, lead that banter pack, and how I foresee this happening, and again going back there will be a lot of rekindling of memories, which the likes of
yeah,
Depaul and Amy will do. Like they are the ones who
yeah,
poke. They like to poke,
yeah,
and I'm pretty sure they have Macy's blessings. Messi is a naughty kid. There is no do ways about it. He's the quiet one. He will never do it himself, but he let this naughty kids, the real naughtiest kids, do that. And what I really want to see is how the Bolivia match also happens. On off the pitch, I'm genuinely wanting to see what AFA does for the Bolivia match as well. Continuing from this, for the first time after Diego's death and after Copa America's win, 30% of the the crowd is going to see the boys in action. Genuinely, enthusiastic to see how the people like Amy etc. will be connecting there, and imagine what all they will be putting up leading up to the match, during the match, and after as well. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm genuinely keen to see what happens off the pitch with regards to not just the Brazil match, but also the banter along Brazil, but also what happens on the nostalgia and connection front for the match at back home.
yeah. And I think sticking to what people's doing on the social media, Messi had a little difficult time with his club, all that mess that happened at Barcelona. But post Copa America, we see Messi being more candid, sharing a lot of personal things in his Insta. And Emmy is obviously the lead of this pack. And also the kind of interview he's given. Last interview, he said that he is ready to give his life for Messi. So that
Yeah,
kind of I think
yeah,
what is
yeah.
the blessing? The pure
Yeah, and
love for
also,
that they've had. Yeah,
sorry to cut you,
yeah.
but I think
No, no.
Di Maria, the other guy, to continue
Yeah,
with the off the pitch talk. I mean, his last interview was explosive. Like as
true.
usually, again broke my heart as a United fan because when he said
Yeah,
that he was in shit and he connected back
yeah.
there. But what he talked about Sampaoli as well, and 2018, I think how he sort of it almost shared his pain and how much more he talked about like how Scaloni has sort of almost completely transformed the atmosphere. Scaloni and team, not just him, right? So I think people like Di Maria is also really upping the off the
yeah,
pitch game. So just sorry, I cut you
yes,
to
yeah.
mention his name as
No,
well.
no, no,
Yeah,
no, 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 absolutely, absolutely. No, the entire team, and as you said, it's not just Scaloni, it's that Ayala, Samuel, obviously Aymar, Messi's idol. So I think the overall package, they're extremely happy, very, very strong sense of bonding, which for fans it's great to see. Yeah. Rigavan, are you available? I mean, if you could show up, then we'll go to you. Yeah, Rigavan is
Yeah,
unmuted.
I'm available. I'm available. Just that my video will not be on because the bandwidth is not great today. So carry on.
Okay, not
Yeah.
a problem. So, Mrigaban, so coming back to you, I mean, I think I'll ask this kind of similar questions that I asked to Shupriyo. That's a different game, but your overall thoughts on the Brazil game, and it's obviously a different game from Copa final, but your overall thought, and just extend what you've been discussing uh, on and off the pitch.
Sure.
Go ahead.
See, I think to start off with, I think Brazil Argentina is always Brazil Argentina, no matter who plays and under what conditions the games are played. Of course, I mean when you go to the kind of a tournament final, that the intensity will obviously be of a different order. But even then, I think even a normal Brazil Argentina, this is not a friendly, by the way. This is a proper World Cup qualifying match, and somewhere I think this Argentina team is a different order altogether. And taking on from what Alexia was saying, they are built to kill machine. So they are very stout. They are very hardy on the field. They have a wonderful team camaraderie going on, and obviously there are fantastic players who kind of want to bring out their best in the field. And for the first time, we have a wonderful bench that Scaloni truly suffers from the problem of plenty, which is a wonderful problem to have. So I think the match is going to be of a great intensity. Secondly, what I also think is that Brazil may find Argentina a little too hot to handle today, especially because of the fact that Brazil will not be getting the service of their many A class or A team players. Okay, I mean the EPL, kind of holding off 9 of their players, Marquinhos being suspended. I think we have a fair chance today to kind of take it to the end and kind of win the match again. So I think it's going to be a great match of great intensity. It's going to be a match where probably Argentina may have a little upper hand because given that Brazil may not be at its full strength. But however, you can never say. In the I think the 2008 Copa America or the 2007 Copa America, where Brazil didn't have a good team and then they still beat Argentina 3-0 in that final of Copa America, which was very unexpected. So
2007.
yeah, 2007 Copa America. So I think you can always expect the surprise, but I think the intensity is going to be great. And I also think that going by some of you what you guys were saying, I would want to see definitely Dybala play for a longer period of time. I would want to see somewhere Buendia being kind of thrown into this entire thing, and I want to see his skills. I want to see how he makes an impact. Because if you really ask me from a World Cup point of view, I think we have a little bit of a weakness in the midfield when it comes to matching the European players. I don't think we have a problem. We will have a problem with defense. Defense, I think we have enough options. Okay, between Romero and Tagliafico and Acuna and Lisandro Martinez, Montiel, Molina, we have enough. And obviously the old war horses like Otamendi and all. So we have enough options in the defense. I think in the midfield, barring the likes of DePaul, who has definitely proven himself, between Paredes and Guido, and Lo Celso. Lo Celso is a starter, but he can't complete a 90 minutes match. Then we have Guido, who is slow, but he's heavily built and he's more like a CDM. Paredes is on and off. Sometimes you see him at some skill level, but more of the time. So I think this will be one area which Scaloni would want to definitely press in with some one or two more talented players. And I somewhere feel Buendia can be a very good example. I had a lot of hope on Ezequiel Palacios, but Palacios haven't, I didn't see him much in Copa. Whenever he got his chance, I didn't see much fire in him. But I would want to bet my ass on Buendia. I want to see him basically get a chance, and I think he's a fighter. Whatever I've seen him, Buendia is a fighter. He can turn around things. If we can just see Buendia also today against Brazil, because against this Brazil team, we can certainly do a little more experimentation. Score a goal in the first half and probably one or two, and then kind of do some experimentations in the second half. I think we'll be able to, kind of hold them off. Shouldn't be a problem. So that's what I feel, Indra.
Good, good point. Let's just talk a bit about stats, and I'll go to Sid, who kind of already collects a lot of stats. But what one of the important stuff is, be it Copa America final, be it World Cup qualifier, or be it friendly, it's a Brazil Argentina, and today it's not. It's probably the 104th time that Brazil Argentina will meet, and it's the score is tied 39-39. 39 win for Argentina, 39 for Brazil, and 25 draws. So another opportunity for Argentina to get ahead of this. So I'm hoping, and I think Brigham also said that they might just find Argentina too hot to handle. And I think Argentina's team is in a different spirit and different touch. So I'm hoping we'll go 40-39 up. But there are a lot of other stats, winning, continuous winning streak, World Cup winning streak. So Sid, why don't you highlight some of those stats? Unmute first.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not historical. Like I know the present stats, but unfortunately, all the historical facts, I'm not well versed like you. But
no, you talk about the present stats only. That World Cup, where are you qualified? Yeah.
But if you're asking me, can we go ahead? Definitely. The Scaloni has all the guns blazing. We can definitely go ahead. We have the world's best player. I see no reason why we can't eclipse Brazil this time. And before this live stream, when I was going through our WhatsApp messages, someone posted, or I must have read it somewhere else. Brazil has never lost a World Cup qualifier at home versus Argentina or something like that. So this can be the moment. Do we break that cycle? Absolutely. And when Rigabanda was actually talking, I actually went over to TYC Sports. The mind games has already begun from the Brazil side. Apparently, there's been a scandal, and I won't say a scandal, but more like a mind games, where our contingent from England. So just a second. What is it? Yeah.
I think they have been caught at the Brazil authorities,
Yeah,
etc.
Brazil health agency wanted actually contacted the national police and wanted to deport the English contingent players, Emiliano Buendia, Martinez, and these guys. Apparently, they didn't fill their immigration forms out perfectly, so that's a valid enough reason to deport them. So mind games. So like Alekiada was mentioning the banter between the both the countries from a historical perspective, but also from the personal perspective, given how close these countries are. Although we Argentina fans and Brazil fans are always been rivals on the pitch, but I tell you, when I in 2018 World Cup, when I went to watch the France game, I saw heaps of Brazilians actually supporting Argentina. So it's a friendly banter which really brings the best out of the two countries. So these things are already begun. So I let's see how Argentina actually copes with this. Really excited to see.
Yeah. So coming to Supam, I think this is the 21st match under Scaloni that this team is undefeated, right? And winning is a habit. So whether winning or draw, so I think Argentina hopefully will continue that. But yeah, I mean, the point that Sid mentioned, and I think it's been discussed, that this is not just players. This is like Brazilian authorities trying to create some pressure, because I think there was a bit of when these football leagues were trying to suspend the players not to travel. Uh, so it's the Argentine players and that we will do everything to go and play, and that's kind of willingness. So I think that's a unity and that's a spirit which is externally they are trying to defeat it, and I don't see that they'll be able to be successful there. But yeah, so the stats I was talking, I think from a World Cup perspective, this is the seventh. We moved to the seventh round without any defeat, right?
Right.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, there is a historical stats and there is the stats of the current squad. So all of that is important. So Shupam, do you want to highlight any of that, either from statistical point of time or the pressure that, Brazil will try to create? So the game is in Sao Paulo, for instance. Yeah.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like to take it up from what was said and like what Mirwanda was also mentioning. So right now, this Argentina team is in a zone. It's a zone, like for example, if you like, for example, we associate that with Virat Kohli a lot. So if you try to tamper this team, if you try to banter this team, it's like calling your own trouble. This team will come back to you and bite you in the ass. So this is something which is a great feeling. Like there has been nights, there has been days, and every one of you in this chat will totally agree with me, where we fell down. And I have been discussing with, like, from a long time, from my friends down back in Calcutta and everywhere, that, boss, why aren't we tough enough like the European teams? Why are we so soft all the time? Why do these guys jump and pounce? The 2007 Copa America, Gilberto Silva's Brazil, that team defeated us. And we had the likes of, like, I can't, like, there's everyone was there. Rooney was there. Everyone was there. Such a nice team. But this time around, I would like to say that, bring on the banters, all these kind of things in immigration and these things. This will just lead to the best coming out. And even in the last match, if you see, and like all of you guys, Messi was looking very relaxed. Like he was not like all the, like, totally coming up. He's like that photo was shared by Sid, that Godfather photo that I saw. He was looking like a Godfather sitting in the chairs. Everybody was sitting there. It looks like these guys are saying, "Bring it on." So from the bantering side, in Rwanda, my views are that no matter whatever Brazil does, yes, it is in Sao Paulo. Yes, if we win, we can be 40-39. If we win, this is the first time in World Cup qualifiers that we beat Brazil in Brazil. But I get an uncanny feeling that whatever these stats are, they will happen. Because we won in Venezuela after 14 years, we won a cup after 28 years, we won in Peru after 16 years, and we won in Bolivia, La Paz, after so many years. So it's like on a roll. As I said, it's a juggernaut, and we should, like, enjoy this time because we deserve it. We have cried a lot, and this time, whenever there is, like, in different groups, I was a part of FIFB, I was a part of different groups, and I used to keep quiet when people used to shout about this. I think it's time to come up and try to answer a few of those guys, because it's time for us to be on the top, and our team is also responding like that. As mentioned, like Emmy and DePaul and all those guys, this bunch is showing this steel, which, like, bantering won't help this team to go down or get bobbed down. Gone are those days. Now we are here to give it back, and we'll pounce as a team. So that's the motivation that is kicking me from, like, the win in Copa America and Rwanda.
Yeah. So, Alex, you're coming to you, and this is stats, or again, it's something to do with numbers. One of Argentine fans was telling me the other day during the game. I don't remember when I last saw Argentina leading 3-0 in a game. Okay, that match could have ended in 3-0 because the penalty that was given wasn't a penalty, but we don't mind giving one as a chanty is the exam. But yeah, so what do you think? I mean, obviously we scored, but and in Copa America we've seen we scored one and then kind of will play defensive, and those kind of play is very stressful because you concede once and that's them, and that happened in number of games that has happened. So, and I think that will change, and I don't go back to that, but just guess how many goals do you see Argentina scoring today?
Yeah, but before that, Indonat, I must reply to something that Supam mentioned. Virat Kohli's zone. I think Virat Kohli got out of that zone when Argentina's 21 match streak started. So that's history. Yeah. So anyway, Indonat, coming back to a question. I don't know. So honestly, I'm feeling extremely relaxed again for a change, because I don't care if the 21 match streak honestly ends in a couple of hours, 3 hours time. I don't care if we lose and then we win again and then as long as we don't become fifth or sixth, right? Because honestly, the team is giving me a lot more confidence. Yeah. So, but to specifically answer your question, well, I foresee us again scoring first, probably because the Brazilian Marquinhos, even he is suspended and the team is so badly depleted. I don't
Silva
see us
also not there.
struggling to. Yeah, Silva is not there.
there.
One of those 9 players who is not playing. So one big disadvantage for us is Fred is not playing, because if you remember, Fred
Yes, I
he
know.
picked up that second or third minute yellow card in the finals, and again last weekend with United, Fred was Fred again. So I mean, he will be missed badly by us, I tell you.
Yes.
So that's one point I have on Brazil and the 22 who will take the pitch. I think we will score first. My hunch is I think it will be a draw. That is my hunch. It will be a 1-1 or something, because Brazil, at the end of the day, they'll have their self-esteem issues. If they draw, again lose badly, I know they're depleted badly, but they will somehow fight back and sort of equalize. And we might not attack or play as well as we did in the finals, probably, because my hunch was and probably I'm a little good at reading Scaloni's mind. If you remember, I picked his mind on Romero. He was saving him for the finals. I picked him with that he will probably start Di Maria and not use him on the super sub like he was doing all through, because he wanted that early goal. He knew that Di Maria can give him that impact, and it worked out brilliantly. My thought is he won't probably start Di Maria tomorrow. He will probably save him, and he will go a little on the defensive tomorrow, because I think out of this 9 points, if he gets 7 points, he will be more than happy. He's not looking for 9 out of 9. That's my hunch. So 1-1 is my call. I'll be very happy to be proven wrong if we win. Yeah, but I don't see us losing at all.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't see Argentina losing. I mean, Ecuador is playing surprisingly well in the qualifier, and they are. I mean, but I'll come to the table and everything. So, Supriyo, just what's your thought on the score line? What do you expect the overall score line?
Yeah, I think we will win by 1-0. I think there will be one goal we will score. But again, it's a 3 matches. There are 3 matches. One match we have already played. Sorry. There are 3 matches within the span of 7 days.
Yeah.
There are 3 matches in the span of 7 days, and we don't want to burn ourselves out. And already, South American football is with physical. Last Copa America final, we absolutely killed Neymar, and this time they will be depleted. So they will try to kill us. So I think 1-0 victory for us, 1 goal, and that's it, because we will like to conserve our energy and our health for the next match.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I somehow feel Argentina scoring 3 goals again today. Okay, I get a sense. If you remember Copa, Lautaro was very wasteful. He was missing chances like anything. He scored, but his performance, he scored, he created, and his touch was much better overall. So I somehow see Argentina scoring at least 2 or 3. I mean, I think Brazil will come back well to kind of lose the game 3-2 is my prediction line. Yes, Shukriyo.
Just an update. Hernan Castillo, he said that there is some news that since Brazilian health authorities were coming and trying to send out Emi Buendia, Emiliano Martinez, Romero, so that they can't play. Now Argentina AFA has come out and given a statement that if these players are not allowed to play, then we will not play. Argentina will not play. They will withdraw, and they will ask CONMEBOL to take out 3 points from Brazil for this match. So Brazil are under pressure. They are now under pressure. So hopefully we will get all our players.
Yeah. I mean, the immigration officer trying to deport, and this is a just very kind of crybaby kind of approach. So let's not get there. But I think Brazil team, as Marquinhos not playing, will be a bad miss for them, which is good for us. We'll miss Fred as Argentine fan. But I think the crucial player for Brazil will be Casemiro today, because he is a very big game player. And I've seen him, whether he's playing for Real Madrid or for Brazil in big games, he kind of takes a different role. So Mrigoban, your thought on Casemiro and how Brazil will kind of make up. Yes, sorry, I'll come to Mrigoban. Alec, you wanted to say something?
Just one more player, Vinicius Junior. He didn't start the Copa finals. He's an immense player, and I think he's played against Chile from the beginning. So I'm a little worried about how he will come out.
He's a very fast player, and it's depends on he could start from the left, from the right. It depends on where he's starting from. Most probably from the left. So yeah, but he needs some services. Yeah,
very versatile.
Yeah. So Mrigoban, your thought on the 3 player for the Brazilian side today?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So what I'm saying that Brazil obviously is missing some of their key players in qualifier, and also today among the players that are available, they will be missing Marquinhos. So given the ones that are available, I mean, I first talked about Casemiro and Alec talked about Vinicius Junior. So your
Yes.
thoughts on who could be the key Brazilian players that Argentina should be a little careful about?
Needless to mention that we have to contain Neymar. Okay, Neymar alone has the capability to create enough havoc. While one good thing is that he might not be getting that support from the midfield today, because barring Casemiro, I don't see anybody worthwhile in the midfield. Whatever names I have come across as the probable Brazil lineup, I'm not remembering the names, but they are all unheard of, and they play basically local leagues. So barring Casemiro, I don't see much strength they have in midfield. With Marquinhos now out, their defense is also a three-man defense, but their defense is still better. Their midfield is the weakest, in fact, out of the all three zones between their forward line, midfield, and defense. It is the midfield which is the poorest. So I expect Argentina to create a lot of chances because the midfield will be definitely won by us. Now, in the forward line, I think I agree with Alekia. Vinicius Junior is a very speedy guy, so we'll have to be careful about him. Even that Gabriel Barbosa, that Gabigol fellow, he is also quite a handy guy. Okay, he can also create quite a lot of nuisance in the Argentinian defense, and with Neymar being there. But if we can do a good job in the midfield, and given that barring Casemiro, there is hardly anybody, the supply from the defense into their forward is going to be cut off. And between Neymar, Vinicius, and Gabigol, they will find it very difficult unless and until they decide to come down and create chances. Now, even if they do that, it is going to be a Herculean task for them. So I think being in the midfield, winning the midfield is going to be the key and probably the lowest hanging fruit for us. And then attacking their weaker defense with Marquinhos not being there. But yes, on the back line, Romero and his gang should be very careful of Vinicius' speed and the tricks that Neymar can do.
Yeah, and
That's it.
I think the formation that Brazil will play, Neymar and Barbosa, they'll be kind of the up front, and then the wing from the two wings, it will be Vinicius Junior from the left and Piqueta from the right. But I think Vinicius Junior will be first blocked by Rodrigo de Paul, and then whoever plays the right back, Montiel or Molina. But I hope that Casemiro plays most of the time defending job and doesn't come out much. And the reason I'm very confident and obviously very relaxed about this game is that given the shape that the Argentina team is in, I don't see the Brazil team is able to match us anyway. It could be sounding very overconfident, but that's the reality. It's not another Argentina team. It's a Copa America champion team coming up against the finalists whom they beat at their home ground. They beat them in Rio. This is the time to beat them in Sao Paulo. So that's a good opportunity for them. And all these things will not work. I think I'll take some final thoughts of this before we kind of take a quick break before the final starts. So, Sid, and before the final thought, there's one game coming up, and at the end of it, I think as fans are very relaxed and will enjoy the game. But this is a World Cup qualifier. We are, in the second position in the table. Ecuador is kind of three points behind us, and Brazil is 6 points ahead of us. A win will be nothing like it. So Brazil will be 3 points from Brazil, and will be fairly, I don't see Argentina finishing anywhere below the top three, and I don't see them losing for any matter. Even if the game doesn't win, I think they'll end up drawing the game anyway. But in general, your overall thoughts on where do you see Argentina? And again, there's another game early next week. Next week is against Bolivia. So, Sid, your thoughts on the qualifier, this bunch, and then I think we'll come back again in October, right? For the next set of qualifier. Yeah. So generally, overall qualifier and thoughts. That's what I want to ask all of you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, given the number of points we have already dropped, I think, unfortunately, we are destined to finish second. I don't see Ecuador catching up to us regardless, no matter what. Sure, like you pointed out, they are playing very well, but I have enough faith in this team management and the players that we are going to finish in the top two. Sure, if we finish in the top nothing like it. But yeah, top two is is surely the place we'll be finishing.
Yeah, I know we don't need to finish top necessarily, and as you said, we dropped too many points to begin with. But again, it's against Brazil, if we don't drop a point, it's just a sense of
Yeah,
happiness for all of
yeah,
us, for the players, and
precisely the
and
point.
we, yeah,
If I'm not wrong, I didn't see the 2002 qualifiers. I don't even remember it vaguely, but we finished top, if I'm not wrong. Whereas
yes,
they
yes.
finished in the, in the fifth place or the fourth
Yeah,
place.
yeah. Brazil
And
somehow managed to
yeah,
scrape
and
through. Yeah,
whereas they went on to win the World Cup and we exited in the group stage. So yeah,
group
where
stage.
we finish is not going to matter. But what I wanted to say was we are people who saw Argentina lose to Brazil with the likes of forwards such as Wagner Love. No one is going to remember him. He scored in
Yeah,
2007 Copa America final. Julio Baptista, the guy has been a journeyman for all his life, and that too with loans and one own goal. So yeah, that is the history we are trying to move on from, and I have enough faith in Scaloni that like Supam pointed out, we should only try to look forward to achieve higher things. Uh, the Argentina which we used to know, Argentina which used to get capitulated by the minute of things, has should be long on. That should be that is history. Our vision and our forward should only be achieving good things from now.
absolutely. And as you said, there's no point in no extra word for finishing top, and we've seen that in 2002. So another thing is which is a little larger point of view, and because we'll have another set of uh, qualifier games coming in October, and uh, before we move to the World Cup, getting the right kind of players and is it one. So one player I want to particularly ask questions to Alec here. He was in England for the last few years. He was sometimes reasonably well, sometimes off, but he just moved to Spain and started playing really well. Eric Lamela. So, do you see Lamela getting a call if he continues to play like this in the October round? And what's your thoughts on this? I mean, I think the bigger question I'm asking: we see a bunch of players included. We get to see Dybala and Budia getting selected. You know,
Yes.
apart from these guys who are already in the squad, do you see? I mentioned Lamela, but any other names that coming to mind might just get a nod
Yeah.
from the Scaloni and company. Yeah.
Yeah. Into I think if you remember 3 weeks back when the squad for these three matches were announced, just before that we were all praying on that group that we just want one name, Dybala, and that actually came in and we saw him getting minutes right in the Venezuela match. So yes, similarly I do see Lamela featuring at some point. I mean, if he continues the good strain of form that he has just shown after the transfer, and he's too good a player, too talented a player. We saw so much of potential in him, right? One of those untapped potential folks who we still feel that he has something to give. I mean, look at Di Maria's example with one flick that with which he changed history, right? So, I mean, we always knew he had it in him, but he didn't ever quite deliver for XYZ reasons, right? So Lamela is one of those folks in my book. So I see him definitely featuring at some point during the squad because to your previous question, I'll just combine this answer that what do I foresee in the qualifying to happen. I think Argentina was always a good team, always they had great players, but after a long time we have a great management team, and that was extremely evident again all over again in Scaloni's press con yesterday. I think he did mention a lot of things that how he's going to manage the squad from now till the qualifiers and the finals, and it was very different from how he was managing it for the tournament, which was Copa, which shows a lot of sense of maturity and the foresight that he and the team has. Samuel Aymar, he did mention something extremely important as well, that one of the things he's going to push the management and all also UEFA, FIFA is that how is the player relationship is going to have be managed around the bubble, etc. There was a lot of shit being happening around how English Premier League sort of handled them, and Argentina was by far the exception. Look at how Brazil has been affected. He doesn't want a repeat of that. That tells me a lot that we can blindly trust this team management to do the right thing in managing the squad all through the sort of campaign, right? The qualifying campaign. So to your earlier point, I definitely see us staying in top three, really pushing Brazil for one also. That's my hope. Somewhere the numbers will sort of cookie will crumble and we'll probably push them. And then yeah, folks like Samuel, Lamela, etc. will 100% get their chances. If Dybala got a chance and a look in and he's getting minutes like we saw in the last match, I foresee them also featuring. Any other name? Don't kill me for taking this name, but Icardi maybe. I don't know. With PSG, the biggest Argentine contingent that's there. The other point I want to make, and this is extremely interesting, if you see in some of the European clubs, there are the small Argentine groups that are forming, right? Spurs, the two that are there, Aston Villa as well. PSG, we all know, right? So there's one guy who I just took his name. He can be the fourth who can be there in the squad. So I think those things, if that is also going to help the overall bond to sort of get even more stronger as the qualifying campaign goes along. I foresee that happening from now till Qatar. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And uh, you know, I don't personally consider French league to be a great place to be in, but Messi's moving to French league means Messi would be with Di Maria, Paredes, and I didn't know what will happen with Icardi, but initial vibe that I've got, it's like, let bygones be bygones, let's be together, and I really like that header goal from Icardi, and
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
great to have somebody like, a poacher like Icardi in the back pocket of the management if it needs be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So coming to
And just one small point regarding that. Going back to Di Maria's interview from 2 days back, he mentioned something which I found extremely interesting. He mentioned that if you go back to the France match from the 2018 World Cup now, basis what we have seen of Mbappe now, we think with this defense we could have stopped him. So this confidence that has come in, it was non-existent with the Mercados, etc. at the back four, right? So now they see someone like Mbappe every day, they're like, okay, we can manage him probably. So if you can think about like that about the world champions, imagine how far they are thinking and already sort of believing. So I just wanted to bring that point.
No. The very valid point. Very valid point. Yeah, Supam, your thoughts on similar point that that we are getting a squad which is playing
Yes.
well in the ground, off the pitch, extremely strong bonding, and we'll have a bunch of rounds of qualifiers. And these are difficult times. This
Right.
still COVID bubble, and
Yeah.
I think the management is sending the right message that we need to make our players available. But yeah, your
Right.
thoughts, qualifier, any other players that
Yes.
you want to see? Yeah.
Yes. So overall, on the qualifiers, I would totally like to agree with what Sid and Alec has said. I don't see Argentina falling below the second position because if you remember properly, the tough matches, majority of the tough matches, like the La Paz match, what generally are the tough matches for us in the qualifiers, like we are facing Brazil in Brazil tonight, and the La Paz match. So all the tough matches are like we have faced them; they're already out. So now, going forward with the kind of momentum that we have already gathered and the type of opponents that is almost like coming up, I don't see we falling below the second position. It would be great to see if we fight for the top position. Like as mentioned in 2022, in 2002, we were like head over heels over everyone. We qualified at top position. As we landed in Korea, Japan, people like almost gifted the World Cup to Batista and team. Like, boss, you guys are the world champions. And then we got dismissed in the first, got packing in the first round. So that was kind of bearing saying that I don't see them falling below the second position on the qualifiers thing. Coming to the new players, I would like to see Sensi along with the other set of defenders. If in any one of the qualifiers, like probably in the October cycle or in the future cycles, to be a part of the defense. And on the midfield, Lamela should get a call because he's been really performing well of late, and should get a call and try to see that how he comes up with, because I think that Lamela once played well, like he played good for the national team in patches. He was not consistent. So now, since he is becoming, he's like coming into form, so much good form in the club matches, he should be given a chance. And apart from that, Icardi's thing, yes, obviously it is very nice to have a totally poacher kind of a goal in the backyard. Like whenever you are needing someone to score a goal, you need someone like, for example, a type of a Solskjaer to score a 91st minute goal to win you the Champions League, or a 94th minute goal to win you the Champions League. That kind of a thing. So that is good. But yes, I would definitely like to see Sensi, and Lamela should get a call from the players. Now, apart from that, I don't want to tamper too much with the set of group that we are forming. And very, very well thought and well said by Aleka and Sid, and you also, regarding the patches that is being formed. Like we have Argentine contingent in Italy, like in Milan. We have a very good Argentine contingent in Sevilla. So there are
Yeah.
many people who have gone to Sevilla recently. I think Papu is also in Sevilla right now, and
Yeah,
he's
Papu,
there.
Labella, Ocampos, there are quite a few
Yes,
guys.
yes, yes, yes. So these patches are going
And
to
obviously
work as well.
Aquena.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, that's my thought, Indrananda, and I'm totally confident. Like I would like to give my prediction on the scoreline as well, because I didn't get a chance. I would like to see a 3-1 today again, repeat of what happened in Venezuela.
Perfect. Brigovan, if you're there, your thoughts, how the qualifiers will shape up, and if you want to see some other squad members. You have mentioned some names, you can re-emphasize them. Yeah, Shukri will get back to you. Thanks for saying you're back. Go ahead, Brigovan.
Yeah. So I think to start with the qualifiers, there's no doubt that we are placed very comfortably right now, and like as you guys were saying,
Brigovan, your audio is a little bit. Kind of mixed and soft. If you could, not really.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think to begin with, I think as far as the qualifiers are concerned, I think I agree with all of you. I think we are comfortably placed, and the way the bottom part of the table is playing, which is Uruguay, Colombia, Chile, none of them are basically kind of giving any kind of threats as at this point in time. They're all very mediocre. They're scoring more draws and losses, and then they are scoring wins. So I think Argentina will be in the top two. I don't see a problem from that point of view, and I think we should comfortably go into the World Cup. Getting into the point of getting more players, I think yes, definitely. I have been following Lamela for some time now, and I have seen a lot of improvement in Lamela. And I think his move to La Liga he's moved to La Liga. Am I right?
Yes, he's in Sevilla.
Yeah, he's with Sevilla. Correct. So I think that
The
is a
latest
very good move.
Argentine ghetto.
Yeah, correct. So I think that is a very good move. Lamela will get a lot of playing time, and playing in La Liga definitely improves their tenacity and character. So I think Lamela is a good player. I think you must also not forget about two other players who are right now outside. One is Lucas Alario and Lucas Ocampos. Though both of them are a little off form and injured right now, but I think they also have the potential to kind of shore up this particular mix. Uh, One thing that I would want to see, but probably, I don't think it may happen because now there is no more time, much more time left, is, getting one of those guys from the Olympic squad, especially the likes of Pedro de la Vega, or say, suppose, Barco, one of them could have been kind of inducted into this midfield and kind of seen whether, they are being able to create some difference, because young guns always kind of make a difference in the World Cup. But anyway, that we will leave it for the later part of the day to see, and see. Let's see how this World Cup qualifiers move on and all. I think that when the qualifiers will be, I think this time the qualifiers will be at that stage where Argentina will be assured of their place, probably with 3 or 4 matches in hand. And if that be the case in the last 3 or 4 matches, I would expect Scaloni to do much more experiments with the team. Basically, kind of throwing some raw talent here and there, throwing some unlikely candidates here and there to, basically kind of get the last, piece of the spice into the team, because the core team is already set. I don't want to, mix up with the core anymore. But last moment talent, if we can really find somebody to take to the World Cup. But let that happen as it happens. In the future, we will see all that. So coming to the kind of the players that we have. Yes, Icardi, always a chance, but I am a little believer of a team spirit more than anything else, and I think somewhere Icardi may have a little bit of a negative impact on the team spirit, and I think that is not good. So, probably from my side, I would not want Icardi to be in, but I would leave it to the best judgment of Scaloni. Scaloni has shown remarkable judgment till now. And if one person can manage this team, it is Scaloni. So he has a wonderful understanding with all the players and a fantastic trust level. So even if he believes that Icardi must be playing, I'm sure he will be creating that fertile ground for everybody not to have that negative impact of Icardi's inclusion in the team. So that way, Scaloni will be playing properly. So I don't have a fear on that front, even if Icardi comes in. But given it to me, I would probably, now the World Cup is knocking at my door, I would not, want to include Icardi. But that I leave it to the team management as such. So that's what I think.
Supriya, your thought on this? Over the qualifier, the players, that Scaloni and team should try. Do you see somebody else kind of claiming a position in for Qatar?
We do have one player in our squad whom we have not seen much. That is Nicolas Dominguez, and he is there. He is almost invisible. He doesn't play much. He is always there in the squad. He also won the Copa America, has done nothing. So I am interested to see what he actually offers to our team. I like to see him getting some minutes versus Bolivia. There is one player I'm looking forward to see that what he offers. Like Kada said, there is a lot of competition. Or yes, Lamela can get very easily in the squad because I have seen Scaloni rewarding players based on their performance in the club level. So there's a competition between Campos and Lamela. These players can get in. Also, yeah, youngsters like Pedro de la Vega, Barco. I'm I would like to see in the later stage of the qualifiers to somehow include Thiago Almada in the team. He is young, although he has moved to MLS, but he has tremendous potential. For whatever I have seen of him in the videos and whatever
I
I've
agree.
heard of him about Thiago Almada, yeah, Thiago Almada. Whatever I have heard of him and seen of him, and also since I play FM2 2021, there also he is predicted as a very future big superstar. So I want to see him in the squad at some point or the other time. He's not there in the squad currently. So these are the players. Obviously, Dominguez, I want to see what he wants to offer, and these are the players I want to see in the qualifiers. And like everybody said, I don't see us falling behind too. We will be comfortable. We will be comfortably placed second, and we will stay there. I don't see us crossing Brazil in future unless Brazil drastically starts dropping points. Of course, they are yet to play it in La Paz. La Paz. We are also yet to play in Quito. So yeah, that's my thought on the overall qualifiers.
Yeah, I think we covered a good set of footballers and good. Scaloni keeps a strong watch on what's happening at the club level, and he picks up players. Unfortunately, maybe I don't know if MLS will be in his radar. Let's see what happens. But let's just, for the final comments from everyone, let's stick back to the game, which is going to start in a little less than 90 minutes. Final, just a predicted scoreline. Just take a score. So as I said, my predicted scoreline is Argentina leading. Argentina to score first. Brazil equalized. Then Argentina scored twice, 3-1. At around 90th minute, Neymar gets another goal. So Argentina winning 3-2. Sid, be bold.
Well, I would say Brazil is not going to sit quiet. Their reputation, I won't say reputation, but their pride is certainly at stake. They for them to lose Argentina consecutively, it's not going to look well on their fans, and it won't be received well. They will put up a fight regardless how depleted their squad is. I am going to we I'm going to say we are going to score first, or probably even take a lead by 2 goals. That's being brave, and they will equal. They will score a goal. So probably 2-1. I would say 3-1. Final score: 2-1 at halftime, 3-1 at full time.
Great, Aleka, your scoreline prediction.
I'll make two predictions. One, I'll stick to the 1-1, which I said, which is my head saying what it is.
Conservative.
Conservative one. And my heart says we will see a repeat of the scoreline from MetLife Stadium about a decade back. The little man scoring a hat trick again, because the other guy, the comeback kid in United, has scored two. Let's not forget, against Ireland in the last 2 minutes. So he has a thing to prove. He didn't score in the last 2 minutes, last two matches representing Argentina. So I think we might see a hat trick from that little man, and it will be something like 3-1. Yeah, maybe. or a 3-2,
Supam
like you
already
said.
predicted. Yeah, Supam predicted 3-1. Do you want to kind of
Yes.
change it, or kind of what's your
No,
prediction?
so from my end, as mentioned by Sid and Aditya and everyone else, definitely Argentina is going to score first, and it is going to be a 3-1 lineup prediction from my end. And I think Argentina is going to score first, then Brazil might come back, and then we'll kill it with our subs in the second half and some one touch plays, and it is going to be 3-1. Final prediction from my end is 3-1 for Argentina.
Supriyo, your score prediction. Muted. Supriya, you are muted.
Yeah. I'll keep my feet on the ground. Like I said, 1-0 victory. We'll try to see off the match after scoring one goal, and we will just hold on to ourselves, conserving our energy, then moving on to the next match. So yeah, 1-0 for me, but we will win.
Vigawan, scoreline prediction. You're muted, Vigawan.
Sorry.
No,
I
go ahead.
think it is going to be like this. The drama is going to play out like this. I think we're going to score first. So it will be a 1-0 during the halftime. And during the second half, if Brazil scores, and I have a doubt on that because our defense is going to prove good for them, then it is going to become 1-1, and then in the end, we are going to score 1-2-1. So my point is, if Brazil do not score, we are going to leave the match at 1-0. If Brazil scores, it is going to be a 2-1.
Cool. So it's kind of a 1-0, 2-1. So all great, positive score. Only Alex's conservative mind has a 1-1 score line, which I think all of our willpower will kind of subset it down. I want to see a score strike from Dybala today. Let's see how it happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's all that we had for everyone. In the game is going to start in an hour and 15 minutes. So let's hope for the best. Vamos, Argentina.
Vamos,
Yeah,
Argentina.
Argentina.
Vamos, guys.
Vamos,
Yeah.
Thank you,
Argentina.
guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Everyone,
you.
stay behind. I'll end the live stream right now.